So if any distortion, if I'm not able to reach you, please text you the chat box so that I will understand I'm not audible to you. So let's start our session. Very good morning to one and all. So I hope my presentation is visible to everyone. If not, just raise your hand in the chat box. So the subject name and the subject code we are going to see for this semester is UDIT 010, and the subject name is Ethical Hacking and Cyber Security. So last class we started our unit number 2.
Sir,
Seen
sir.
2 topics.
Sir, sir.
So now the third and fourth topic I plan to complete within today's class. So the topic name is asymmetric key cryptography, and the fourth one is message authentication. So Ajanta, I planned for this session is attendance at the start and end, and then introduction about myself, meticulous to be followed, then learning objectives and outcome, recap of previous class, introduction about the topic, explanation of the topic, summarization, and at last Q&A feedback if any. So this is what the session plan I planned. So attendance I'm not going to take right now. I will take at the end of the session. Then introduction etiquettes to be followed. We discussed so many times, so I'm going to skip it out. Then as this starting of unit number 2, we are going to see our learning objective and outcome. Objective of the unit number 2 is to learn the techniques needed for providing protection and security to our personal data and information resources. That is, we are going to study all the ways of protection, all the ways of security in order to protect our own sensitive personal informations. And once you learn the technique, the outcome is you are going to apply, that is to apply the different cryptographic operations of cryptographic algorithm. So once you learn the techniques of protection, you are going to apply to your own sensitive personal informations. That is what the outcome of this unit. So next one, I am going to tell or recap the previous sessions. So in the previous class, we started unit number 2. Before that, I want to check whether my screen is not visible. Okay. Sorry. I didn't share my screen. Sorry for that. Now it is, you are able to see my screen, I guess. So recap of our previous session. So recap. Yeah, thanks for your comments. So last class we started unit number 2 with the two topics. That is, the first topic is introduction to the cryptography, and the second topic is symmetric key cryptography. So cryptography, in the sense, we are going to encrypt the message and the decrypt the message as well. That is what the cryptography. The sender and receiver both involved in this process. So the text owned by the sender is called as plain text. The plain text gets converted into ciphertext. That is the process of encryption. Then in the another way, the ciphertext gets converted into the plain text. That process is referred as decryption. That can be done at the receiver side. So sender side encryption, receiver side decryption. This is what the process. So here the terminologies involved are plain text, ciphertext, and then encryption, and at last decryption, and algorithms for both encryption and decryption. This is what the thing. So three things we discussed: crypto system, cryptanalyst, cryptology. So cryptanalyst is the attacker, and crypto system means providing the cryptography, encryption and decryption techniques. And cryptology is the combination of crypto system plus the cryptanalyst. This is what the thing we discussed, cryptography, and then we seen the history. So history, there are three types of things. There is evolution happened before the actual cryptography comes into the picture. So the first one is heliography, and the second one is uh, Kama Sutra substitution cipher, and the third one is Caesar shift cipher. So each one we discussed in elaborate manner, and then we shifted into the second topic, that is symmetric key. So symmetric key is the uh, private key encryption. We can call that conventional encryption process. So what is the thing in this means? The key gets shared from the sender to the receiver. So in between, if anything happens to the key, we are not able to track that. So authentication is minimal in this symmetric key or conventional cryptography. So that we are moving to the second process, that is asymmetric key algorithm or asymmetric key encryption and decryption process. That is what we are going to discuss today. So asymmetric process. So in symmetric process, we seen so many algorithms, example algorithms. For example, DES, that is data encryption standard, and the second one is triple DES, and ADES, advanced, AES, advanced encryption standard, and at last IDEA. So these algorithms get classified with the help of the number of input blocks, number of output blocks, that is a message size, and then the encryption keys, the bit keys, how many bit keys used for encryption and decryption. That is what the classification of that algorithm. Now we are going to start afresh for asymmetric key cryptography. So here the another name for asymmetric key cryptography is public key cryptography. So what is meant by this public key means, so it is available to everyone, but previously that was not a case. That is, the sender going to send a key to the receiver. In turn, receiver going to open up the message with the help of the key sent by the sender. So in between the transaction process, anything happens means the sender doesn't know about the process. The receiver also doesn't know about the process. Is what the problem happened in the symmetric key or conventional cryptography. But here the key is open to all. That is what public key. So public key gets shared with the sender. That is the receiver going to share the public key with the sender. The receiver also has one private key. Sender also has one private key. So the private key of the sender and the receiver does not known to anyone. That is what the process. So here two keys are involved instead of a single key. And one more thing is here no more transactions of the keys are allowed. So only private, sorry, public key of the receiver is visible to everyone. If anyone wants to send a message to the particular person, that sender wants to pick up the public key of the receiver at first. After that, the sender going to send a message with the public key. The receiver, whose public key is relevant to that, has its own private key. He or she only able to decrypt that message. So public key is for encryption, private key is for decryption. So many mathematical process going on behind that, but we are not going to much deeper into that. So this is what the asymmetric key cryptography. So two keys involved. One is public key and second one is private key. Private key is not known to anyone, even though between the sender and receiver, receiver's private key not known to the sender, sender's private key not known to the receiver. Only the sender public key and the receiver public key available in the sources. That is what the thing. So this is what the pictorial representation of what I told. So public key is available to everywhere. Using the public key, encryption happens, and the receiver has the private key. With the help of the private key, the with the help of the private key, the receiver going to decrypt the message process. So it is actually invented by Whitfield Diffie and Martin Hellman. So in short, in computer science field, we call that Diffie-Hellman algorithm. So this public key cryptography, we also call this Diffie-Hellman algorithm. So it invented in 1975. The basic techniques was discovered in 1973, but it is not yet revealed until 1997. That is what the thing, because they used in the very secured group. That is what the thing, they didn't reveal the public key cryptography to anyone. So the algorithm followings, this public key encryption standards are: first one, DSS. It is digital signature standard. So this digital signature standard follows the digital signature algorithm. So in public key, there are two famous algorithms. One is DSA and then RSA. So that is what algorithm we are following. Very popular. Though there are so many algorithms nowadays we are using, but the basic things are DSA and RSA algorithm. So this digital signature algorithm is purely meant for the signature, electronically signed documents. So in US, they are used for some authentication purpose of electronic documents, that is e-documents. Then the second one is RSA. So it is a very popular algorithm. The full form is reverse Shamir Adleman. So they are the inventor. In 1977, they displayed their own algorithm. So this algorithm from 1977 to till date, it is a very considered as a very secured public key algorithm in the cyber security world. So though there are so many algorithms comes into the picture, this RSA stands still. That is what, because it adjusts the number of input blocks, number of output blocks of the message, and also the bit for the encryption decryption process as well. So till now, it is the very famous and popular algorithm. This is the one of the famous challenge placed by that RSA people. So these are the messages. I mean, the some textual. in the text, sorry, in the numbers, in this number, some textual contents are hidden. So the particular person, the attacker or is open to everyone. Anyone can encrypt and decrypt the message. Sorry, decrypt the message because it's already encrypted. So for the decryption process, so many people tried on. It is the open challenge, and it is invented in 1994. So from 1977 to 1994, there was no one to crack that encrypted message. So in 1994, can be cracked with the help of the 1600, that is 1600 workstations, mainframes, and supercomputers. So on those days, because it is 1994, there are non-availability of highly speed resources, so that they are used so many things to crack that. But nowadays we can easily crack that encrypted message. The encryption key for that is 9007, and the encrypted message was first solver wins $100. So that it's still believed that RSA algorithm is the safest algorithm in the field of cryptography, computer security, and in cyber. So hope you understand. So the next one, LGAML. So LGAML is another method. It is used for digital signature. So it also follows the same process, that is Diffie-Hellman agreement algorithm protocols. So most of the digital signature applications, we followed that DSS and this LCML encryption process. But for the encryption and decryption, we are going to use that RSA algorithm only. So this is what the thing. Hope you understand. I will show one small video in this regard, so that you're able to easily find out the thing. So no chat messages. So hope you understand. So I will show one small video regarding this encryption and symmetric and asymmetric encryption and decryption cryptography, so that you can easily understand. So in between the video, I will speak it up. So this video first starts with symmetric key encryption, that is conventional cryptography process. So there are two peoples, Alice and Bob. So in the computer security world, this name is very popular, Alice and Bob. So Alice wants to share the message with Bob. So we are going to see with the symmetric key cryptography and asymmetric key cryptography. So that is what the process. Let's see. So this is what the problem we discussed under the demerits of conventional cryptography. That is the key shared through most of the time email only. So no other mode to share the keys. So anyhow, the attacker going to attack your key. So key management is the very toughest process in this symmetric key process, because the receiver does not know the key. Once the sender sends the message along with the key only, the receiver going to decrypt the message, or else it is a useless message because we cannot decrypt the message without the key. So this is like sending the letters or emails to the known person. For example, if I am having a message to each of you, means each of you having your email login, that is username and password. So though I am sending the message to everyone, I'm not able to see your mailbox. You are only knows your username, your password. Might be I will know your username of your Gmail account or Rediff Mail or Yahoo, anything maybe, but I'm not supposed to know, or I didn't know your password. That is a passphrase. So you are the owner of your key. That is what. So anyone can send a mail or send a letter to you, but you are the owner. You are only able to open up that message. That is what the asymmetric key cryptography follows. So this is what the famous algorithm RSA. So that is what in the video explained means in the RSA, the sender and receiver both want to generate the public key, and with the help of the public key, the private key gets generated. The private key is within those persons only, not shared to anywhere. Only the public key gets shared to the cyber environment. So if I want to send the message to any one of you, I want to pick you. I mean, I want to pick your public key. Then I want to send a message by attaching this public key. Then you are the owner of that public key because you know that what is your public key. So you are going to open up the message with the help of the private key. That is what the thing explained. So this is what the process actually. So your mail ID, myself and yourself, your mail ID known to everyone. And anyone can send the message to you, but you are the only person. I am the only person to open up my mailbox. That is what. So for that, I want to know your mail ID, or anyone wants to know my mail ID. That is what the public key in the cyber environment or computer security environment. So anyone can take my public key and share the information. So here what it is explained means the private key is safe for both sender and receiver, only the public key exposed to the environment. That is what. So even though if I am sharing some documents to you means I only share the documents. I didn't know your passphrase, that is password of your mail ID. If you are sharing some documents to my mail ID, you are only sharing the documents, but you are not knowing my password. So that is what. So both of us, for both of us, our password is remain with us. Only the data gets shared between both. That is myself and you, or you to myself. That is what the main technique followed under this asymmetric process. So these are the some of the application areas of this asymmetric key encryption cryptography. So the first one is HTTPS website. So nowadays we are most of the people, or most of us, doing e-commerce transactions. Maybe for banking transactions or for recharge, theater ticket reservation, bus ticket, train ticket, flight ticket, so mobile recharge. There are so many things we are doing in the cyber environment. So nowadays, this particular concept, that is HTTPS concept, comes into the picture. If you are doing any banking transaction means, note down the URL. If you come across the URL means, it gets changed from HTTP to HTTPS. So it is means HTTP secure. So secure way we are going to do our transactions. That is what this HTTPS website application area. Second one is Bitcoin area, that is cryptocurrencies, and the third one is PGP. So it means pretty good privacy. This PGP protocol most probably used in email transactions. That is, the mail transactions or mail conversations. So that is what I told the mail example. So this is what the entire video. Hope you understand the concepts comes under this symmetric and asymmetric cryptography. So I want to see the chat box. Is there any message? Okay. Okay, no message still. So hope you understand. Have you understood, guys? Students, having any queries or doubts? If any queries or doubts, you can post. I will clarify, or otherwise, I am going for summarization. Okay. Thanks for your comments, Noel. So with this, I am going for the summarization. So today we started the topic called asymmetric cryptography. So in the sense, last class we seen about symmetric key cryptography. This class, the public key cryptography, or the another name for this is asymmetric key cryptography. So what is the thing we are going to follow here means there are two keys used for encryption and decryption process. So public key and private key. So public key is meant for encryption process. Private key is meant for decryption process. There are so many mathematical calculations, formulas or behind this, but I'm not going much deeper. Just I gave the outline. If you want, you can tell I will share, or you can Google it. You can get it the mathematical background, whatever applied in this encryption and decryption. So, public key is known to everyone. That is, sender's public key and receiver's public key is known to everyone. So, anyone can fix up the public key if you want to share or send a message. But the thing is decryption. So, decryption process, sender knows only his or her private key, receiver knows only his or her private key. So if anyone picks up the public key and shares, the message means the receiver only able to see the message or decrypt the message. That is what the thing. So public key is for encryption, private key is for decryption. This is what the process, entire process of this asymmetric cryptography. So here, what are the algorithms? Example algorithms means the DSS algorithm, LGAML algorithm. So those are all meant for some of the encryption process and decryption process, but most of the time it employed, the algorithms are employed for digital signature, that is authentication, verification or authentication of e-documents. That is what. So the famous algorithm here is RSA. So RSA algorithm actually comes into the picture in 1977, but still it is the best algorithm under the cryptography. So it adjusts the input blocks, output blocks, the bits, number of bits used for encryption, decryption, still. So still it is the very well-known and popular algorithm under the cryptography environment. So this RSA algorithm, what does the thing means? The sender wants to generate two keys, public key, private key, and the sender also. So both want to generate the private key and public key, but only the public key visible to everyone. So once it is generated, public key get visible to everyone. Sender's public key and receiver's public key. After that, anyone can fix up the public key and then share the encrypted message to him or her. Only that particular receiver is able to open up the decrypted message with the help of his or her own private key. So private key is safe for the receiver, for the sender as well. So anyone cannot easily attack this particular key data transaction or sensitive document transaction problems. So that is what this RSA. So most probably this asymmetric key cryptography employed in this applications in banking transactions. There is HTTPS transactions, Bitcoin transactions, and then at last the mail transactions. So with the help of the PGP protocol, we are going to apply this asymmetric key cryptography. So this is what the thing we discussed today. So as it is the time, I'm not going for the next topic, that is message authentication. I will tell the some basic outlines of message authentication and we conclude our session. So message authentication means, as a name itself, it implies that authentication, that is verification. So once you receive the message, how you are able to confine yourself that is the actual message. That is what the message authentication comes into the picture. So you are going to authenticate the message. How you are going to authenticate the message? You are not knowing that sender alone or sender itself only shares this message, because nowadays we are seeing very popular thing. Only my admin posted this, only another person posted in my account, into my account, or somebody hacked my account. There are so many things we are having hearing nowadays. So those things are all lagging of this message authentication. So we are not able to verify the received message. So how you are going to, or how we are going to authenticate or verify our received message, whether it is received correctly as sender sends, or any malfunction happens in between. That is what the message authentication. Here some of small mathematical formula comes. So let's be discussed in our tomorrow's session. Okay, so until this, I will wind up the session. So for your attendance purpose, I will download your attendance list from the Teams. So I will read out your name also. If anything means, you can just post it in the chat box. I will also show the screen, attendance screen. So don't worry about your attendance. 26 still percent, I guess. Suresh Nair, Omkar,